Yeah, yesterday we have seen different roles and how we can provide access to the different roles, created database and schema. Yesterday we have all created with using SQL scripts, create database, create schema, like that we have created. Now there are other options also. If you don't want to write queries, if you want it to create through the UI options, we can do that as well. First, we have to go to home page, come to this data. I'll show you how this home page looks like. This is the default page. As soon as you log in, you will get this. Now go to this icon. Now we are at the database level. If you click on here plus database, it will create a new database. I will create one more DB. We are creating it as account admin. The owner of this database is account admin. If you want to create with something else, I mean other role, you can do that. First go back, change the role here. If you want to create it with system admin, so first we have to select the role here. Go to this Explorer, Database Explorer. Click on this, create TestDB UI. I will say we are creating it through UI. So I have named it as TestDB UI. Comments. Creating test. This is not mandatory, it is optional. Creating TestDB. So this TestDB UI is created with system admin role. So account admin is the highest privilege. Account admin has the highest privilege. He can access anything created by the other users. But this is created by system admin. We'll try to use it with the other roles. First, let us create a schema in this. Before that, this is by default account admin. So we are in account admin role. It is showing this. Let us see the details of this. I think that new DB is created with account admin only. Go create one more. SDB, it is created with owner is account admin still. Let me refresh this. Create database. I think by default it will create as account admin. If we want to create it with some other roles, you have to create it through uh, SQL queries. You can change the role here, whatever you want. I want to create with system admin. I'll create a database. Its name is testdb. I'll write sysadmin. Now I'll create a schema in this. Use database testdb admin. So if I have set this context to testdb sysadmin and the role and the schema is public. Now I want to create one more schema in this. The schema is create schema, test schema. We are still creating with system admin. System admin. Now we'll set. See, as soon as we created, the context is changed. Previously, we have it as test sysadmin and public schema. Now it is changed. We have to create a table inside this. Create table. Some employee table with the columns as ID integer. First name is varchar. I will limit this length to 250. and date of joining is date column, and the salary is integer. Comma is missing here. So the table is created. I will insert some data into this. Insert into employee values. ID is 100. We have to pass it in the same order. We are not specifying any columns. I want to pass values into all of these columns. So I'll have to pass it in the same order. First name 100. His name is John. Next date of joining is 2022. Some May for May 2nd. And his salary is some 50,000. I will insert 3-4 records here. So I'm giving 3 entries into this table. All this we are doing with system admin. Now we'll see the select star from employee. So we have 3 records here. Next, we will switch the role and see. Let me refresh it here. See, we have with the system admin, we are able to see 4 databases here. These 2 are by default. It will be there in any of the roles. But the other 2, test DB and test DB system admin. We'll try with the other roles. First, account admin is the highest authority. This role will have all types of access, though it is created by other roles. It will be able to access. See, previously we have created one more with the account admin. That's why we are able to see one more. Now let us query this table with the account admin role, with the employee table. We are able to query it. Now switch to security admin. Again, we'll refresh this. Now query this. What is the error? Employee table does not exist. Because we have created this with system admin, but we are trying to access with security admin. Unless we provide access to this table to this role, it will not be able to access. Let us try with the other role, user admin. It is also not able to do so. Next one more is organization admin. Here also it is same. So whatever we do, account admin will be able to access anything created by any role, any user. But if we have created with any other roles, we have to explicitly provide access to that. Yesterday we have seen how to provide access. So whatever, let us I'll show you that queries. Yeah, this is where we did not create warehouse at. I will come to that later. So whatever the database schema, anything we create, we have to provide access to that to the required roles. here we have granted access to test DB to these all roles. Similarly, if we want the test DB system admin to other roles, we have to create it like this. So if it is schema, we have to provide schema. If it is table, we have to provide table. It is based on the object, we can decide that. Now, see, this is the one account created by the organization. But now there will be employees joining every week, every month, as with the different roles, as a developer, as a tester, as an engineer, as an admin. Different people will be joining. So based on their roles and responsibilities, we have to provide them access accordingly. So first, I will create the roles. I will create three roles. One is for admin, one is for developer, and another is for tester. I will create all those roles with account admin. Generally, roles will be created by account admin or the security admin. So we'll go with account admin, create role. We have to specify the role name, dev role. So the role is successfully created. Now you will be able to see that role here. Let me refresh. Dev role. Okay. Now we'll create the other roles as well. I'll tell you. Create role, test role, and one more is admin role. So now we have created these roles. Now this admin should have account admin role. Whatever access the account admin have, it should be granted to this role, admin role. I will grant that uh, account admin to this grant, sorry, grant role account admin to role. So we are passing the role from account admin to admin role. So whatever properties or the access account admin has, the admin role should have access to that. Now for the test role and the developer role, we'll create a different set of access. The developer, what kind of access should the developer has? Developer should have access to the database. Just select access to the database, table, and schema. We will do that. Grant usage on database. I will give grant access to this one, testdb UI. Testdb UI to role developer. For the developer, I will give grant access to this developer role. TestDB does not exist. Why? Created with account admin. Use role account admin. Let me try with the other one. Test DB system admin. Okay, I think this database was not created successfully. Now I have granted usage on this database to the developer role. This DB, I have provided access to the developer role. Now I will create the users. First, let me create three users, one as a developer, one as a tester, and the other as the admin role. Create user. Username is dev dba user. This is the username. We have to provide some password. It should be strong enough, but for now I'll give the same name as username. And there will be an option to change. This is for another user. It is not for me. So other person, our organization person new joinee has to log in with these details. Now this is the password. There is an option called must change password. As soon as he logs in, if he wants to change the password or not is equal to true. If he has to definitely change the password, I'll keep this as true. Otherwise, I'll keep this as false. I don't want him to change the password. So now create this user. Sorry, it should not be enclosed any quotes. This is a Boolean value. Okay, the user is successfully created. Now I will log in as this user. Now I am the root user of this account, but I will log in with this user now. I will show you. I'll open a new window. I will provide the username and password here. Dev user, and the password is same. In second, dev dba user. Mm, Really, you should log in. It is taking the we should use the same URL first because each organization will have a different URL. If we directly open Snowflake, it will take to a different one. I will log out of this. Um, mm, mhm. Mm. Now I have logged in with that user, DevDBA user. So this is how the new joinee will get the login page. Let us go to projects. See, when I have created a root account in the worksheets, we are able to see so many templates or the sample databases. But whenever I create a new user, he will not have all those. It will be blank just like this, and the username is this one. No, he has only the access to public role. By default, he will be given only public role. But if you see in the root account, we have 5 or 6 roles: security admin, user admin, account admin. There are 4 or 5 roles. But whenever a new user is created, he will have by default the public role. Unless we assign him some roles, he will not be able to access anything. Let us go to data and see what all databases he have access to. He has access to the sample databases only. But still we have created testdb, testdb UI, testdb system admin. There are 3 additional databases, but still he doesn't have access to that. And coming to the roles, I'll create a new worksheet. See, even if you want to switch the role also, there is no option. He has only public role. And if I want to select a warehouse, there is no warehouse to select. So without a role, without a warehouse, he won't be able to do anything. He even doesn't have access to create a database. No, we'll go back to that our root account. The user is devdba user. So I will grant him some access. Uh, Grant role. What is our role name? Dev role. I want to grant this dev role to user. Who is the user? This person is the user. So now we have given developer role access to this user. Now go back to this account, refresh the page. See, now he has the developer role. Now switch to this developer role and see he has access to system admin, because to the developer role we have given access to the system admin. Even in the system admin also there is only information schema. Information schema will get access by default. But there is a test DB system admin schema. So in order to get access to that, we still have to provide access. So this developer role, I have just given usage on database. So I will provide usage on warehouse as well. Usage on warehouse. Warehouse name is compute warehouse to role developer. So I am assigning everything to the role, not to the user. The user was just given the role. I have created a user. User is given the role. All other access I am providing to the role. So this is called role-based access. So even if I want to revoke that access, I will do it on the role, not on the person. So now I'll grant usage on warehouse, and similarly I'll grant usage to schema, and our schema name is testdb system admin. No, is it not existing? Grant usage on schema. Okay, the name is different. Test schema, system admin. So we have granted access on the schema. So this person is a developer. I just granted usage. But on the table, I want to give him all types of access. Grant all on table. The table is employee, to whom I have to give it to the role, developer role. We have granted all types of access. Now we will go to that account, refresh this. So we have access to database, schema, and also table. Now see the warehouse. We have the warehouse also now. Now do select star from this table. You have to select database, schema. This is text, setting the context from employee table. So he is able to access. Now I want to insert some more records into this. Insert into. Let us see what all types of access he has. Employee values 104. Name is again, and next date of joining, and salary is 60,000. Now let us insert this. Just wanted to check if we have access to all kinds of operations on the table. Yes, we are able to insert a record. Now I want to delete also. I am able to read it, insert it, and I want to delete. Delete from employee where ID equal to 100. I first let us do select star again. It has four entries. It has four entries. Now I am deleting the ID where ID is 100. So delete also happened. Now I'll do again select star. It has only three rows now. And now I have granted only usage on the database and schema. Let us try to create a one more database inside the one more schema inside the same database. Create schema, the schema. See, insufficient privilege to operate on TestDB admin. So we are not able to uh, do anything on this schema. We just use the schema, but we cannot do, create, update the schema. Same on the database as well. Now let's try to create a table. Create table. Employee one with ID integer. Name varchar. Now let us see. Here also we have given only access to this table, employee table, and we have given only usage on the test schema system admin. So if we want to create more roles as a developer, he should have create tables. There will on a day-to-day basis he requires more tables to be created. Now going back to here, I'll create a new update this schema usage. Grant all on schema. I will grant all types of access on the schema. Now I'll go back to this account, refresh it. Now I'll try to create a table here. See, now we are able to successfully create it. We can create as many number of tables as possible. We are able to access with this user and also with the root account admin level, because we are creating all this with the account admin. So similarly, you can try for test role and the admin role. I will show you. Tester role you can try because it is similar to developer, but tester should have only select access. He doesn't have, he should not have access to create the tables. He should not create anything. He just has to test what is existing. That is the role of the tester. So, but developer, he has to create all the tables, but not the schema and the database. You can try for test role, but the admin role, I will create one admin user. Create user, admin user, password. I'll give the same password, use admin user. Here I will say must change password is true. Here previously when I have created a developer role, as soon as we log in, the developer role was logged in. It did not ask for a change in password. Here we'll keep this as true. Must change password equal to true. I want this person to change the password. I will create this. User is successfully created. Again, I have to log in with this user. So these are all like, this is not for the creator purpose. This is for the employee's purpose. Usually in the real time, they will give names like, our usernames will be the username and the role will be the developer role, tester role, admin role. They will be providing roles accordingly. But here I am, for the sake of testing, I am using admin user or like that. Now I will log into Snowflake again. Let me copy the link from previous account. We have to use the same URL which our organization uses. This is the root account URL. I will log out of this. This is still logged as developer role. Hmm. Not this. One second. Admin user and password is also same. Admin user. See, your password for user admin user has expired because I have while creating the user, I told that it is mandatory to change the password. Now I'll change the password. This is the difference. Okay, it has to pass some security features. See, now we are logged in as admin user. Let us see what all types of access this admin user has. First, let us see. Previously, I have granted some roles to admin. Grant role account admin. So whatever access account admin has, this admin role or the admin user will have it. Still, I have created the only user. I did not create him any roles yet. Uh, this is admin user. Go to projects and see. Now worksheets. By default, he has also got only public role and there is no warehouse as well. Now I will create account admin role, admin role to this user. This is the admin role which has all the access or all the privileges of account admin. I'll grant this role to the admin user. Grant role. Our role name is admin role to user. Which user I want to provide it? Admin user. So admin role has all the privileges of account admin. So it will get everything automatically. This is account admin. Yes, correct. I will refresh this. See, he has got all the five roles, but in previously when I have created a role for developer, he has got only the developer role and public role. But now here in this account admin, as I have granted account admin, which is the highest privilege, that's why he has got all types of roles. This is just like an admin account. And databases, also he can see all the databases. First, we have to select this role, account admin. See, the warehouse also, I did not provide a explicit usage on the warehouse. It has come automatically. See, it is like a root account, more or less like a root account. He is able to see everything. So only the DevOps person or the person who is monitoring our Snowflake account or whoever has to pay the bill, he has to be given the admin level. He should be given the admin level access. So rest all people, they should be given only the minimum required access. Otherwise, the cost increases. Knowingly or unknowingly, people will create database schema, warehouse tables. It will create unnecessary cost. So that's why least privileges they will provide. Whichever are minimum required for our roles, they will provide those kind of access. This is how the user should be created whenever a person joins a new organization, and roles will be assigned accordingly. You can try it with the test user, test role and test user. So this is the basic difference between the admin roles and the other roles. Going back to this. Now we have created table, users, roles, everything. Now let us go to warehouse. Uh, we'll create warehouse from here. This is database. See, whatever are under the database objects, those will be created within the database. There will be so many coming up later. I will tell you like stages, stages, pipes, streams, tasks. There will be so many objects coming under database section. But virtual warehouse comes under admin part because this involves cost. Based on the size of the warehouse, it involves cost. So with which role we want to create a warehouse? Let us go to this. Prior to that, it is showing whatever we have used till now. Till now, we have spent $2. This is the average daily cost we are spending it. The credits every time any cloud account they will be measuring through credits. Credits is the units. We will pay for credits. So these are the some basic details of our cost. Now we'll go to warehouse. We have only compute warehouse, which is provided by default by account admin. Now I want to create one more warehouse. Our warehouse name is, I'll create a small warehouse. If you want to comment, you can add it. That is optional. This is optional, not mandatory. I'll write it. Creating small warehouse. This warehouse is the compute power we are providing to run the queries. Without a warehouse, yesterday we are not able to run our queries. So type, I will select the type as standard. So you can read while selecting the options. It will provide some details. So based on that, you can select. For now, standard is okay, and the size extra small. Here it is showing. If we select extra small, it is 1 credit per hour, 2 credit per hour. Based on our requirement, we can select anything. So I can select this small with 2 credits per hour. So this number extra small will contain 1 compute engine, small will contain 2, medium will contain 4 compute engines. These are the compute number of compute engines or the compute nodes available. These are available in various sizes till 4x large. So now we will select small with 2 credits per hour, and there are some advanced options. So auto resume and auto suspend. Auto resume and auto suspend are like whenever we are running the queries, only during that particular point of time, it has to be available. Whenever we are not using the Snowflake account, it has to be shut down or the suspended. So if we do like that, our cost will optimize. Otherwise, if we just resume the warehouse and we do not suspend it, it will consider like we are using it for all the time, and we have to pay for all the time. So if you see the options here, automatically resumes the warehouse when any statement that requires a warehouse is submitted. It means that if we select a compute warehouse as small warehouse, and if we submit any query, if we run any query, then only this will resume. And auto suspend is like automatically suspends the warehouse if it is inactive for the specified period of time. So if you are not running queries for, here it is default by 5 minutes. If you are not running any queries for 5 minutes, even if we don't suspend this explicitly, it will automatically suspend. No, I want only 2 minutes. After 2 minutes of inactivity, if I don't run any query for 2 minutes, our warehouse has to suspend. So we can choose our time accordingly. I'll keep the 5 minutes. Multi-cluster warehouse. We have to select first it is scale compute resources as query concurrence needs change. In real time, see now we have selected 2 nodes only, but there will be, I will select this and show you. Here the minimum clusters is 1 and the maximum clusters is 2. Basically, whenever the query starts, it will start with minimum number of clusters. But as the query executes and process goes on, if it requires more, then it will increase gradually the number of clusters required. So if we define multi-cluster warehouse, in case of large queries, if our given resources are not enough, it will automatically scale up and scale down. It will automatically increase. If our data is so huge and if your queries are running so longer, then it will use the maximum number of resources. When I say maximum, whatever we define here as the upper limit, whenever I submit a query, if it has so much of data, then up to 5 clusters, it will automate or activate. Our query will run on 5 clusters. If we run very small query, just like select one column from table with limit 10, then it will run with minimum number of clusters. Also, this multi-cluster warehouse, we have some scaling policy. Standard is like it is based on it starts with a minimum number of clusters based on our query performance and execution and size of the data. It will increase. But if we choose economy as the scaling policy, so the query will first run on the minimum number of clusters for the first 6 minutes, and later If it is saying that there is a requirement to increase the clusters, then it will go for the increment of the clusters. So that comes under economy. So we won't go with the multi-cluster warehouse. For learning purpose, we don't need a multi-cluster warehouse. But the concept is this. Multi-cluster is based on the requirement. It will automatically increase or automatically decrease. But if we set anything as hard-coded, we need only 3 clusters or 2 clusters. Even though if we are running a small query or a big query, it is using the fixed size, which is not efficient in terms of cost. This is not all our business. Devops will take care of that, but we have to know the terminology and how to use it. So query acceleration. So this is how fast our query should run. By default, it is given as 8 times. We can increase it based on that. The cost also increases. I will keep that to default. I don't select these options since this is a free tier account. I don't want to consume all of the resources. I'll just select this auto resume and auto suspend. Auto suspend is after 5 minutes, and auto resume is like whenever we submit a query, it will immediately start creating a warehouse. This warehouse is creating with account admin. We are creating this with account admin. So I have created the warehouse. Now let us go to our projects and see. Now we are able to see the small warehouse also. Now try running a query on this. I will run select statement. We are using account admin. So we have created with account admin and using account admin, not a problem. We'll switch to the other role. It does not have the small warehouse which we have created. So in order for the other roles to have access, we should provide grant access explicitly. Grant. Now, first one thing, we'll go to our admin user role. Let us see if this has the small warehouse or not. See, it has small warehouse. So without performing anything here, since this is a admin role, everything comes by default. Whatever we do on the root account, it will reflect here. Now open this developer role. Think this is not developer role. This is also not the one. Dev DBA user. Dev DBA. It is already open. Where is this? I'll open new incognito again. Not Snowflake login. We have to open through this URL only, the root account URL. I will log out of this. The DBA user. So this is our developer role. Let us see if it has small warehouse or not. We don't have that. This developer role will it doesn't have that newly created small warehouse. So for him, the developer, to have access to the small warehouse, we have to grant access explicitly. So grant usage on warehouse small Our warehouse name is small warehouse. To role, to what roles we have to provide? Developer role. For developer role, I have provided this access. Now let us see. Now this developer has the small warehouse access as well. Now we'll run query with this select. So now developer is also able to access that. So whenever there is a new warehouse or something wants to be added to the other roles, we have to grant access accordingly. So if you want this warehouse to be accessed by other roles here, you can do that. So this is how the users and roles will be created. Any questions here? Next class will be working on loading the files from cloud to Snowflake and creating the stages. Okay, if you don't have any questions, we can stop here. Or we can continue on Monday.
Tomorrow we are not having a session.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.